All right, everybody. Another Friday night. That means another Comic Book Invest Hot 10 list. We got the writer. We got the guest. We got it all. We got some giveaways, too. All right, everybody. It's another CBSI Hot 10 show. Ben S., the writer of the list, here with us today, like always. And ladies and gentlemen, another community guest. This time, much beloved friends of Tales from the Flipside from the Team Nerd Herd crew, Alonzo at Comics and Pops. What you doing, brother? How you been?
I'm doing well, man. Seriously, Brian, Ben, thank you so much for having me on the show. Like, seriously, I was nervous the entire day. I'm like, oh my God, look at what I'm doing. Like, I cannot believe it.
We appreciate you, man. Listen, you guys, if you guys aren't following Team Nerd Herd, make sure you guys do it. Listen, the best thing to do, I show this every time. Not only do this with our guests, do this with Tales from the Flipside. You go hit the subscribe button, you hit the bell, you hit all, you get notified every time Team Nerd Herd drops content. They're doing an amazing things over there. Look at all this content. You guys are killing it. I mean, just recently hit 1,000 subs, almost at 1,100, putting out stuff every couple days, it looks like, sometimes daily. Well, geez, all kinds of goodies.
Yeah, we have a great team. I mean, everybody, like, for the whole Team Nerd Herd, Ian, Steve, JR, Big Rob, Nick, we're always putting stuff out. We're always coming up with ideas, for the show. I mean, we love doing this because it's so much fun.
Yeah, and another thing that I will say about Team Nerd Herd is I hear nothing but positive things in the community about you guys. Much respect for you guys and what you guys are doing over there. You're doing things the right way, and you have fun doing it, and that's the key. A lot of people talking about the things that they love, aka comic books, right?
Yep.
Well, all right, you guys, make sure you guys go sub over there. I want to talk about right now, more than anything, is what's behind Alonzo's head there. This was brought up right as we were going in. I noticed it early on. I didn't want to be the person to say anything because I was drooling, but he's got a beautiful commissioned Frank Cho piece behind his left shoulder there.
I do. So this was, we have many Comic-Con stories through the years. This was definitely one of them. I got this wonderful Zatanna piece from Frank Cho, and I was one of those lucky people that had hit him up via social media. So that's one of the other things is if you know the cons are going to come up, you got to hit these artists up. So that way they have something. If you want something, they'll be able to do it for you. You know, they'll definitely ask you like, hey, what do you want to do? And another thing too, you can get this thing done and not have to wait in line at the con for the artist. You know, I mean, this will get done. You don't have to worry about it. You can do your own thing. But yeah, it's a great piece. Like he even incorporated Harry Potter, and it's great. I love it.
The framing is absolutely beautiful too. I mean, it just looks really gorgeous. It's a piece that most comic fans would be jealous of, my friend. That is absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
let's hope that once the cons start rocking again, and we can get some sweet commissions. People can get more commissions. I know commissions have been tough the past couple of years for a lot of artists because it's just been so crazy. But let's cross our fingers that we can get some dope commissions at cons here. Pretty plentiful over the next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. I see a bunch of people in the chat, lots of Flipside family members and friends. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to follow Comics and Pops on Instagram as well. And let's get into some goodies. I was playing around on let me get rid of this here. I was playing around on YouTube the other day or today, and I forgot that I left it on twice speed, right? And then I went to go check to see. I couldn't remember if we gave anything away last Hot 10, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go check to see if we gave anything away, and I gotta give the book away tonight. But I heard myself on there, and I went, man, like I sound like like I could be like in radio. Like this is McClay in radio if he never found cannabis. I thought it was very interesting, but this is to give you guys a little roll on how we do our almost 10. And also, of course, whenever you guys check in with us each Friday on the show, you get extra books, which are the almost 10. There could be 2, there could be 3, there could be 7. You never know. Ben's always got a couple extra books that just don't make the list for whatever reason. So that is our almost 10, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the almost 10. These are, like I said, books that just barely make the list. So, but before we do, everybody remember Mighty Mel V channel immediately following the show. It's Drunken Chat Son. Shout out to Mighty Mel. All right. Almost 10. All right. Book number 1 now. Marvel Zombies. I remember this book. We talked about it not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago on some show. Dope cover. Marvel Zombies number 1, The Land 1 in 25. What's going on with this, Ben?
Yeah, I think Chris Nelms mentioned this book maybe on CBSI. I think that's where I saw it. But it is a pretty tough book to find. Sleepy John mentioned to me a long time ago that this one was pretty hard to find. It's a 1 in 25, but I guess Marvel Zombies, I guess there wasn't a huge print run on those, but it's selling for like 80, and it's a pretty good looking Elsa Bloodstone cover. So
yeah, I was about to say this Elsa Bloodstone cover is awesome. And you know what? There's a lot of spec too for Secret Wars, all the incursions and stuff like that happen, and Marvel Zombies could make way for that. And then there's also that What If that's coming on, that animated show from Marvel or Disney Plus, and that too could attribute to this book being hot, because we've seen that Captain America zombie in those previews, those trailers.
Amen. Yeah. Great point. Great point. Great character too. All right. Next book on the almost 10, Futurama number 1. 9.8s of this have shot up as well as other Simpsons books that we'll see later in the list. But this is Futurama number 1. Now, there are multiple covers to this. I do want to remind everybody that you can get the newsstand, and the San Diego Comic-Con is the one that I just was really interested in. Anytime I see something like that, I like to tell people about it. But check out the San Diego Comic-Con one also. But this book right now, what you said, 9.8s are selling at
$450.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, $450. Yeah, that's it is a lot. I guess I'm not. A lot of these books from that age or whatever are doing really well, especially like the long running, more adult comic, cartoon shows. But yeah, $450.
Yeah. Well, listen, nostalgia is a seller if I ever heard of one. And I think that part of this is nostalgia, and part of it might be something else that Alonzo brought up early in pre-show that we'll get into a little bit later. So we'll see more Simpsons on down the line. All right. Almost 10, Secret Wars number 3. Now, this has got to be the Titana spec, just continuing to build a little bit. What are we seeing with this on the secondary market?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of graded copies out there, because I don't think anybody was grading this, and they're probably a bunch at CGC right now. But nobody's going to see those for like 3 months while they're backed up. But raw wise, this is 60 to 70, which is crazy, really, when you think about it. But yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like, this book was like in dollar bins like a few months ago, but
right.
They cast a character, the girl from The Good Place, Jamal, or I forgot her name, but she was cast just recently as Titania for the She-Hulk Disney Plus series.
Yes, she was. That was just not too long ago. As a matter of fact, I forget where we were talking about. I think it might have been the last Monday night's Flipside show. We talked a little bit about it, but one of the things that we hit on was this isn't even one of like the great covers out of the run, right? This is one of the covers, but the rest of this run has some absolutely amazing covers, and it's cool to see this one on the list where the cover isn't the driver necessarily. So, all right, next on the almost 10 list, more Deadpool, Lady Deadpool spec. This is Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, the third printing of number 7. Just more Lady Deadpool stuff, right? I mean, we've been hearing about her maybe showing up in a movie sometime down the line. It's a great character. The question is, how long is she going to last in the movie? 2 seconds, or maybe get an extra movie out of her.
Yeah, I was just shocked. 220 to 240 Raw.
Wow.
For this. Yeah, is crazy. This is a Liefeld cover, right?
Yes, it is.
It certainly looks like it.
Is this the best Liefeld cover ever? Because this one's not half bad. I mean, maybe
I know you're looking at the feet, aren't you, Ben?
Well, maybe, but but I mean, comparatively, for every other Liefeld cover that's out there, this one at least looks like a normal, somewhat normal, other than maybe her left calf, that's bigger than her thigh. But yeah.
Dope stuff, man. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out. The chat is pretty lively, and I see a lot of Team Nerd Herd love in the chat. So shout out to Team Nerd Herd crew, all the fans out there, friends, family, saying what's up. Make sure you guys go give them a sub. Also follow them on Instagram. They've got a great Instagram page, and show some love to them. All right. On the next Almost 10, one of my favorite comics that I don't think I'll ever be able to find. I don't think I'll ever see this. And now that we're talking about it, every time we talk about it on this channel, I feel worse, right? And that's the Back to the Future #1 Gray Sports Almanac variant. How could you, where did this come from? Was this a con thing? Was this a ratio variant? What was up with this? Does anybody remember?
It was not a ratio variant. I think it was an exclusive, a store exclusive, but I don't know who it came from. I know I missed it, but yeah, there's really hardly any listed. The last couple sold for like 170 raw, but the only ones listed are like 500 now.
Wow. I've never seen this book. I want it now.
I know, right?
I really do. I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic.
All right. That's the whole point. I mean, showing people new books and getting that type of response. I love it, man. I love it.
Oh, well, you're killing me now, Brian.
We're killing everybody, man. Now this is gonna be on everybody's search, eBay search functions for.
I know.
What is Z-Box? Aaron, you said it came from Z-Box. I don't even know what that is. What's a Z-Box?
Great question. Z-Box UK. There we go. So is it a UK exclusive?
Oh gosh.
Oh, then good luck finding it here.
Right.
Xbox exclusive.
Oh.
Jeez, look at this. This is why I love our chat.
So in England, Xbox is called Z-Box.
I wonder if Xbox had their own. You know how like you get those monthly boxes that had stuff in it? I wonder if this was one of them.
You hit it on the head. You hit it on the head, brother. Wonder World's Comics says subscription box variant. So Z-Box is Microsoft's new system. Nope, I don't think so, brother. But we'll see.
Darren Baptiste says it's a CD store in
Zavi.
the UK.
There we go. Well,
hey, like I said, you guys know way more than I do on this.
I love it. Z-Box.
The anime.
Z-Box.
Z-Box.
But seriously, this is one that I feel like I'm at some point I'm just going to probably just break down and just buy it.
Yeah. What was the sale on this one?
They're 170 raw, but you can't find any for 170 more. The only ones listed raw are like 500, and the other ones are like graded and they're like over $1,000. So
wow. Are they? Do we know the print run on this thing? Can't be that big, right?
I know nothing.
I don't either.
Yeah. We'll find out. Trust me. This is going to be, like I said, eBay search functions. Here they come. The next book on the list, Spawn number 186, the second printing. More Spawn low print run, 180s, that type of stuff. This is a dope cover, and Spawn fans are ravenous. What's going on with this?
275 raw.
Wow.
275.
Take your screenshots, everybody. Take your screenshots.
Wow.
Go hit your Spawn back issue bins and look for this second print.
Spawn fans are rabid. I honestly I don't get the whole like Spawn thing. I really don't.
I do,
but I'm glad that the book's getting love. I just personally not.
You know what
like,
I think
into
it is, Alonzo? I think it's nostalgia, because so many people like my age that grew up, and I'll say our age, that kind of grew up and was collecting comics around the time when Image hit. Spawn was a big deal, and some of those guys bought Spawn like crazy, and some of those guys are coming back with extra money into it on top of the Spawn news that's coming out, on top of all the comics craziness. It's just that perfect storm, I think. Huge fan base. You're 100% right, Doc Joe. Huge fan base. So that Spawn Universe book is coming out. Every couple weeks we see these crazy Spawn books sell for crazy numbers. Some of those Ray ones are real crazy. All right, before we get into this next one, we do have a give out to give away tonight. But first, I want to say this. US only. I apologize. Canada, if you win, you're just probably going to have to pay for it. Let's put it that way. But we're going to give this away old school tonight, and Team Nerd Herd's honor. This kind of goes with the book, the next book that's coming out. And I talked about, let me do this. What is going on here? There we go. Jesus, my computer's dying on me. We talked about this book the other week on Flipside, I believe, and shout out Bird City Comics. Ben doesn't know I'm doing this, so he had no idea about this.
I have no clue.
But in honor of this this next almost 10 book, we're going to give out a set of this issue 1 Moon Knight exclusive. From June. Is that how do you? Anybody know how to say that first name? Because I'm gonna kill it if I try it. We're just gonna call it. It's the Yoon variant. It's the Yoon variant of Khonshu. So we're gonna give this book out immediately following the talk of the next book on the almost 10 list.
So Brian, since you're doing it in honor of Team Nerd Herd, I will pay for shipping for this book for anybody that wins it overseas.
Say that again about overseas.
I will pay for shipping.
Oh,
jeez, holy!
I will pay for shipping.
Man,
I will pay for shipping as a part of thanking you guys for having me on the show, and for the live chat being on it.
Hey,
if we're doing it live, I will pay for that shipping.
What the chat doesn't know is that Alonzo's already rigged it to where somebody in America is going to win. So
yep, damn right.
Ben, that was supposed to be just you and me right here. Come on.
So in honor of the Moon Knight number 1, is it Varegi 1 in 25?
You know what? I put it as number 1, but it's actually number 3.
Sorry, number 3.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it was mine. The list that I sent you was I put Moon Knight 1 number 1, but yeah, it's actually Moon Knight number 3. But I think this was actually mentioned by Van Demby on one of his articles on Comic Book Invest. This is really not easy to find cover, and this is pretty cool looking. It's a pretty cool looking cover.
Yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. I love it. I love that whole Egyptian theme. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, but it's selling for 80 to 100 now. But I think honestly, a lot of Moon Knight variants are probably they're kind of primed to see some jumps.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, you guys, here we go. So the way that we do this old school style is I just take you guys into the Matrix, right? So let's get out of the Matrix or get into the Matrix here. Let's figure this out. Share my screen. We'll go into the Matrix. Go into comments here. All right, here we go. So, all right, Alonzo, you're going to say stop at some random point. All right.
Okay.
So,
All right, stop.
Colin C.
Colin, I got you, Colin.
That is freaking awesome.
I got you, Colin. When you send your info to Brian or Ben, I will take care of shipping for you, man.
Dude, that is so
That is my
funny.
thank you again for the chat, and my thank you for Brian and for Ben, Tales of the Flip Side, for having me on the show.
Well, thank you, brother.
The minimum I can do.
Hey,
Well,
that is awesome.
yeah, that is absolutely amazing. And shout out to Team Nerd Herd Crew. Also, I want to say shout out to Bird City Comics. So what we're going to do, Colin, is do me a favor, hit me up, Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com, so we can get in contact with you and figure this out. And as soon as the book drops, we'll get it set up with Bird City Comics to get you a set sent out your way. And thanks to Alonzo on that, Bird City Comics. Make sure you guys go check out Bird City Comics, and if you want this dope book, keep an eye on Bird City Comics for it. Doing good things over there. So shout out to them.
Is this a new artist? I don't.
Yoon, yeah, he's been making waves recently. The last couple of months, I've been seeing him more and more. He's pretty damn dope. I mean, that's a sick cover right there. If I've seen one, that's a good one. So, I believe Bird City Comics is doing something with Comics with Bueller. So, if you guys are fans of Comics with Bueller, also there's a Bird City Comics Comics with Bueller book to go show your support to. So, we are very stoked. Shout out to Colin C. Again, make sure to hit us up. That's Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com. Hopefully he's still in the house. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping.
He made several comments after saying thank you and everything. So
awesome. We will get that figured out.
Did we just lose Brian?
Wow.
Ben, does that mean you and I are running the show?
No. It's a big thank you to this right here. We appreciate you. Thank you for the $4.99 shout out. Yeah. Team Nerd Herd podcast, hip hops and me. Hip hops. I'm gonna mess that up every time I say it. But thank you. We appreciate it. And Colin C says thanks, folks. He appreciates it. And these super chat money, right, you guys will help so I don't have that freezing once graphics cards become a little bit more plentiful in the secondary market. All right, let's get into the rest of the show, ladies and gentlemen. We got another book to give away later on, but we might have to figure out a way to give that away instead of old school style, but we will do that. So stick around for another giveaway book coming up. All right, let's get back into the regular Hot 10. We got our honorable mention, our golden age honorable mention, with a classic cover, an absolute classic cover. Vault of Horror number 37, the Hanging Man cover. What's going on with this? Yeah,
on Comic Link, a 9/8. It's the Gaines file copy. It sold for $12,000. When the same Gaines copy just 2 years ago sold for only $4,000. So it's up 3 times, or 200%, or whatever it is, up 200% in just the last 2 years. So to be honest, I'm not even sure if 12,000 might be undervalued. This for a 9/8 copy of this, and it was gorgeous. I saw it. It was the picture of it. It's so nice looking.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that this is one of those books that will always be wanted. One of those crazy covers.
Are you looking at these comments?
I am. They're great. They're great.
You know what? This cover, something wrong. This cover reminds me of like the Haunted Mansion from Disney. And when you're in the Haunted Mansion and the room starts to elongate, oh god. I mean, the only way out, because there's no windows and no doors, is to commit suicide, to hang yourself. So this reminds me of that.
Wow, that's a great cover, man. I would love to own a copy of this.
It does. It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm sure Steve, Mr. Hip Hops and me, would love it because he is a horror guy.
Yeah. Steve, thank you, brother, for the super chat. I appreciate that. We all appreciate that. All right, on to the next honorable mention. A weird book that we just couldn't figure anything out. I believe Alonzo had a little bit, a couple points about this new Howling Commandos team, but this is Shield number 9, the Art Adams 1 in 50 variant. What's up with this new Howling Commandos team that might be getting some love?
Yeah, for sure. So just looking at this cover itself, I mean, it has a bunch of things going for it. One, Art Adams. And two, this could be the first appearance of the Howling Commandos as we see it today. So you got Hit Monkey, you got Man Thing. I mean, you just have all of these characters are quote unquote new for this particular team. And it's a ratio variant for issue number 9. So it has all of these things going for it. And on top of that, I believe Dum Dum Dugan makes his first appearance after being dead. So it might add some value, some spec value to this particular book.
Yeah. Well, Art Adams, another one of those guys that fans are rabid for his work, and one of the best artists in comics. The Hit Monkey appearance is always cool. Like you said, Ben, you got to love Hit Monkey. But shout out again to Van Dimby for bringing up this book. A raw copy sold for 400 or 9.8?
Raw. Yeah. And
Whoa.
Somebody made a comment on comicbookinvest.com that they thought that this guy had relisted it and it was not a real sale, but in actuality the guy who is selling it actually has multiple copies of it, so he is selling multiple copies. So as far as I know, the sale was legit.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Well, keep your eyes on this one. You never know what you could walk into in a comic bin.
I know, and if you have it, if you own this copy, sell it now.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into the top 10, the hot 10 of the top 10 of the hot 10. I want to remind everybody to hit that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed both to Tales from the Flipside and Team Nerd Herd. Doing good things over there. Also, make sure you guys check out their Instagram and follow Alonzo at Comics and Pops on IG. Also, I do want to remind everybody to check out Comic Barricade. Use the code word Flipside for 10% off your order. These guys over at Comic Barricade are amazing. They do give us great products like the Comic Barricade XL for your magazine and slab boxes. Also, the Card Stopper. So make sure you guys go check out cardstopper.com. Shout out to Comic Barricade and Card Stopper. All right. On to the list. Number 10, Journey into Mystery. Number 103, more Loki Enchantress stuff. I was talking about this a little bit on Monday's show about, are we going to start seeing some of those Enchantress books settle down a little bit, and I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at sales on this. I didn't put any like specific sale numbers, but basically they're almost 70 to 80% higher than they were just 5-6 months ago. And it's not even the Enchantress that everybody is not sure. It's such a confusing, whatever Marvel's doing with this character, they're so confusing everybody. It's kind of irritating from my point of view, but
so from to explain this, that most people already know this, so this is nothing new, but there's 2 Enchantresses out there. This one, the old school Enchantress, and then there's the Sylvie character, which most people were betting on last week, and which surprised me that I would see this book still selling, which is crazy, but 70 to 80% higher than 2020 in all grades right now.
Yeah.
Wow. 1,300 for a 7.0 this week. Killer book, I guess. Yeah, if you got one to sell.
Yeah, I think people might be thinking because that Sylvie, that new character right now, could be a hybrid of the new Enchantress and Lady Loki. Or could be just a misdirection. It could be Lady Loki. So people are thinking, okay, let's move to the old Enchantress, which again could be introduced into Thor: Love and Thunder.
Well,
I mean,
what would be interesting is exactly that if this Sylvie character ends up becoming this version of the Enchantress, is there a way for that to happen? And in the MCU, so it'd be interesting to see what happens. Listen, for everybody that saw Loki, and for those of you that didn't, I'm sorry, spoilers on a thing on this channel, but the death of Mr. Mobius was something that absolutely blew me away. And for everybody that's sitting on all those Fantastic Fours out there, you have a big decision to make over the next couple days. That's are we going to see Mr. Mobius again, or was he just a character to tell part of the story? And I really hope he wasn't just a quick character or a quick storytelling character, because I like that character. I like the actor that's playing him, how he's playing him. They made us kind of fall, kind of like really like the character. I don't know why you would do that. So let's hope that he comes back. For everybody, though, that's sitting on those Fantastic Four Mr. Mobius books. Whew. I hope you're already got him a bunch of bids on him on eBay right now.
I know. I'm with you, Brian. I love Owen Wilson. That Mobius character, like, I would not have liked that Mobius character if somebody else played him.
Amen.
I think Owen Wilson just added so much charm to him that, like, I was shocked when I saw him. I was like, my jaw just dropped to the floor. I was like, I cannot believe this.
Yeah. I don't buy it.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see. I really hope that he's around, and I know a lot of people that are sitting on a bunch of those books do too. All right, number 9 this week. It's been hanging around the list for a while. At least the character has. There was a record 9.8 sale not too long ago. And Marvel Spotlight 5 is back on the list at number 9 this week. And I think this is everybody starting to get frenzied for Ghost Rider news of any kind. I know we had the what's his name? The latest version of Ghost Rider?
Robbie Reyes.
Robbie Reyes. We had Robbie Reyes on the show last week. A beautiful variant of that first issue, I think it was. Love that character. Love the car aspect. But if I'm gonna choose any Ghost Rider, I want this. You know what I mean?
I mean, I hate to say it, I'm not really like a huge Ghost Rider fan. I can't believe that. I mean, just reader copies of this are approaching $1,000. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, 10 grand for what, a 9.0, 10 grand.
Wow. People are speculating hard on Ghost Rider and the Midnight Suns making their appearance. I mean, it's just kind of all over the place. But there hasn't been any concrete news. It's just everything's a rumor. And Brian, to your point, I mean, last week's show, I mean, you guys did mention Robbie Reyes. And a lot of that is spilling over based on, all this rumor. I mean, even you mentioned, like, what about Donny Cates?
Yes.
I mean, that's also another one.
And that Donny Cates issue is a great issue too, that I know a lot of people have been stacking for a while. So, listen, when we get Ghost Rider news, it's going to be great. But will it continue? Will we see the rise continue? Some of these characters, we just see this meteoric rise, and then when we finally get it, it just kind of flattens out. So, either way, what did you say the recent sale was on this?
10,000 for a 9.0, 25,000 for a 9.4. There was also $1,000 sale for a 3.0 that had a hole punch that went through the entire book, like, where somebody stuck it in a binder. Yeah, and it was graded a 3.0, but that one got $1,000. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate myself because I was at a auction, a real auction. It was like an estate sale, and there was a 7.5, I think, of this that went for like $1,000. I just, yeah, and Anyways, one of the books that I will probably never own now. One of the books that I still kick myself. This is one of those Wayne Gretzky moments for me. But number 9 on the list is Marvel Spotlight number 5 for some crazy sales lately. All right, number 8. This is another weird one for me. Black Cat, number 1, annual number 1. Supposedly a new team in play, a team that I have a feeling that not too many people care much about, but who knows? I don't know what is good and what is bad in this world anymore, and this could turn into something crazy. I'm playing old man, get off my lawn. So, yeah. Tiger Division. Tiger Division is the new team with a character that Ben brought up named Auntie Auntie.
Yeah, that's so bad, right?
I know, and Ben, I'm so glad you highlighted that name. That name is horrible. Like, if you guys need to read that column, it's fantastic. and Ben puts a lot of these little comments in there, and they're perfect, especially for this title. The only thing I can think of is why this book is moving has to do with the Infinity Stone heist. So there's this big thing going on on Marvel that has to do with Black Cat, and she's the one that's going to bring all the Infinity Stones together. So it's some sort of heist.
Yeah, don't we have certain characters that are already connected to other stones too? Is that something that's going on right now? And she's supposed to gather the rest. This whole Infinity Stone storyline that they're telling right now is just it's a little convoluted to me. But Marvel's also doing the Heroes Reborn stuff, which to me is a total troll. So maybe it's just summer off time on Marvel until Donny Cates gets back. We'll see.
How is Black Cat obtaining all the Infinity Stones?
Because she's a master thief, bro.
Yep.
Are they like all just down the street? I mean,
no, you know what?
I don't get it.
When the Infinity Stones now are people.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's stealing
Star's a
people?
recipient of one of the Infinity Stones.
Man.
Black Cat's a thief, right? She's a trained performer or liar. So she could manipulate all of these people.
It's a really weird storyline, I will say that. All right, so here is
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It is. Here is some recent sales on this book. $22 for a set. Let's see here. There's probably not many auctions, but it's selling. A lot of sales for it. That's for sure. Look at that. So,
yeah, I would tend to think that a Black Cat annual is probably not heavily ordered. I mean, right?
Yeah. First full Tiger Division.
Hey, as long as you get that anti character,
there you go. And you know what? There's also like a giant spec on getting like an Asian team, like, in the MCU. I mean, even Kevin Feige had mentioned that he would love to get some sort of Asian character other than Shang-Chi in the MCU. So there's a lot of speculation with all of these teams, Agents of Atlas, and stuff like that. So this could be just another one of those things.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Listen, will be the first guy to say, don't listen to me on new characters, because a lot of the new characters I don't understand, and they ended up becoming something special. But you never know, and we're old in this game right now. Now I do see this couple characters in here that were recently their first appearances came out. Now most of the people in this team, are they new characters? Do we know that? Chat, let us know. Taikugi, there you go. Is that how you say it? Taikugi?
Yes.
I don't know. It's a cool idea. I get it. And I know one of the characters that they're really looking to continue pushing. But we'll see what happens. $20 raw looks to be about $15 to $20 raw. Looks to be about the selling price on this right now. So, all right, here's the next books that we talked about early in the show with one of our almost 10s. We're seeing sales on multiple of the Simpsons World comics. I believe there was a couple shows last week that talked about a couple Simpsons books. This is Simpsons number 1 from Bongo. This book has always been a nostalgia buy for a lot of people, but from what I hear from Alonzo, there's a reason that people might be looking for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's news came out recently that The Simpsons plans on doing parodies of a number of Marvel movies, and one of them has to do with Loki. So that's a news that just came out earlier this week. So this could be the reason why there's an uptick on Simpsons books, and people are looking for it because they're like, "Hey, this could be the next big thing."
Well,
And Disney owns or Simpsons now, right?
yes.
Yep. So there's a lot of synergies there.
Very interesting. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked at the price. 9/8 were selling for 375 to 430, and this is not like the first appearance of the Simpsons. I mean, they had a one shot, that came out like 6 months before this number one of the ongoing, and it's selling well too. And it's a lot harder to find than this.
there
But
are some major books in this run. That's all I will say, because there's some books in this run that I don't want people to know about. So.
Hey, you know what? Some of these some of them are not easy to find, especially once you, I mean, because that lasted. I mean, they went up to what, like 280 or something like that. I mean, it was a long, long running, and like almost every issue has no variants at all. Like there might be a newsstand here and there, but I mean, there's no like variants. And I'm thinking if there was a variant on some of these, holy moly, would they be really, really rare? Because I think a lot of those issues, especially once you get up in the hundreds and 200s, the print runs on those were so low. I could see those. I would pick, if you could pick those up for $1, $2 right now. I would buy pretty much every one of those, regardless of what goes on the inside of it.
Yeah, or what does go on the inside of it. That's all I'll say. What are we seeing? What are we seeing right now on this book for sales?
375 to 430 for 9/8. If you buy it raw, make sure that it's got the poster inside, because it does have a full poster insert in the inside. So make sure if you're buying it, make sure you check for the poster.
And the newsstand doesn't, right? So the newsstand will not say Giant Simpsons pull-out poster inside.
Right. I think you're right. Or I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it don't get stuck with first Hobgoblin without the tattoos or something like that. and you didn't know. Don't do that.
I like that reference, Ben. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a very big reference.
That is
all right, number 6.
one.
Number 6 on this list is another book that just I was surprised to see show up on the list without any real info of why it was here. 225 live viewers right now. Please hit that like button if you like what you're seeing. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoy Tales from the Flipside, and also make sure to go check out Team Nerd Herd, follow and subscribe to them, as well as Comics and Pops on IG. All right, number 6 this week, Uncanny XMen number 20, the amazing Adi Granov variant with Magic, Cyclops, and Storm. This cover has been on a lot of our lists for a long time, all the way back to the old school G Plus days. This book was on a lot of lists, but I don't know why it's selling so much right now, and it seems like it's one of those ridiculous books.
Yeah, this week for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the same buyer. Multiple 9/8 sales this week. One for 710, which was double what the previous all-time high was, and then another one sold for 980. Yeah, so basically it's $1,000 9/8 now, if you can find it. It's really hard to find.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm just wow. But this is an amazing cover from Adi. I mean, he does some fantastic things, but this Ileana Magic cover is fantastic. Easily one of my top 5 pieces of art for Magic. But again, $1,000 with $700.
Yeah,
I'm still like, wow.
Yeah, the last one almost hit 1,000. And I don't know about you guys. I mean, I thought New Mutants was meh. The movie was meh, but I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was awesome as Magic.
Yep.
And I would hope that if whenever Disney decides to bring them in, I hope that she still is okay with doing it because she killed that character. So
I would agree. I liked it, and you know what too? I also liked the Lockheed, the little stuffed animal that she had,
yes,
and how at the very end of the movie became a dragon. I was like, this is awesome. I
yeah,
didn't even get it until the end, and I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I love that little nod. I love that she had to keep that little pet by her, to keep all the baddies away.
I think Magic is just such a beloved character for a lot of people who are into comics right now, and they didn't mess up on her. They messed up on that movie. Because I agree, I think she did a good job in that movie. I love her as an actress. She's great. All right, on to the top half of the list. I want to remind everybody, thank you for hanging out. We appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're watching it live or afterwards, catching it on the rewind. Thanks for hanging out with Tales from the Flip Side. And leave a comment. Let us know what you think of the channel and what we're doing over here. All right. Number 5 on the list. This is no surprise. Loki news, Kid Loki, that mid-roll or mid-credit roll scene that everybody saw. This book, as a matter of fact, I think it was I forget who it was, but somebody in the Flipside crew said that one of these sold for like $600 raw. I think maybe that sounds too high. Maybe it was a 9.8, but
or maybe it was a newsstand.
Yeah,
or the variant, because there's a variant for this one too.
Well, this one is the one that I think most people would rather have because he's on the cover. Don't get me wrong, that variant's great. That Tron style Thor variant.
Mm-hmm.
But this Kid Loki character, we're finally going to see him in the next episode of Loki. And it's a cool character. I've always thought it was a cool character. And this book is selling. Thor number 617. Sounds like the newsstands might be out there selling for ghosts if they are out there. But there is a variant, like you guys said.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought that. Or my thought was that this was going to like completely go crazy. But I think in for this book in particular, yes, they're paying more. It's back up to 60 to 70. It was about like half of that, so it doubled. But I think rather than it going to 100 and a quarter, like some of those other books that have kind of done that, I think people are hopefully being a little cautious, and just because Marvel's just they're just toying with us. They keep doing these things and doing like one-off characters. Oh, they're going to be on their one show and then they're gone. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Well,
there's so much potential for that character too, because like if people have noticed, they're assembling the Young Avengers.
Yes.
And Kid Loki was also part of that iteration. So it's possible that this character stays in universe, and we might see them later.
Yeah. Well, if you've got your copies and you stacked them like most people out there that were speculating on this character, now's a good time to sell, it looks like. Again, if you guys know how this list works, a lot of these books are reach the height of their selling power, I guess you could say, when they hit this list. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Do you guys think that this character is something that we might see outside? I know you say the new Young Avengers stuff. Is this character? I don't think he's going to come outside of Thor. Loki. I just don't see it. I feel like a lot of these characters we're going to see on Loki is going to be. I'm just waiting for the letdown, I guess you could say. I'm waiting for Kang to be Mephisto,
or just Kang to be Kang, right?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, everything you have to do is you have to take with a grain of salt. But if you kind of look at and try to read the tea leaves here, I mean, you have America Chavez, you have all of these other characters, and in Young Avengers, and it's I think volume 2 or 3, it was Kid Loki that brings them all together.
Boom.
So that's why I think this character might stay. But again, to your point, Brian, I mean, you kind of never know. I mean, this could be a red herring. Who knows? Maybe Kid Mephisto or Kid Loki becomes Mephisto. I mean, I don't know with Marvel, right?
Shout out Immortal Idiots.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. You look at the comments in the chat. I mean, either people are like, he's one and done, and other ones are like, oh, he's definitely. I mean, it's like it's this far apart. I mean, everybody's got. I mean, it's so polarizing.
That just goes back to the show being good. It's a good show. If people are talking about it the way that we talk about it, everybody's on one side or the other. You know, it's a good show. So, all right, let's get into number 4 on the list. Now, this is another new book that had me, come on, are we really specking on death issues again? But X Factor number 10, at $20 to $25 raw sales on the secondary market, and we've got a death of Wanda. Like, yeah. Do we really think they're going to kill off a character they just got done making a TV show about?
Yeah, and it's not like this cover's great. This, I mean, is it just me, or is this cover not good at all?
No, it's not good.
I agree with you. There's not a good cover, and really, it's a death of Wanda Maximoff. I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I know this popped up on Bleeding Cool, and I don't know if that had to do with with people just rushing out and buying it too quick. I don't know. I didn't see it on a shelf, but yeah. I mean, I guess I would have bought it to if it was cover price or whatever, but I can't see spending the $20 to $25 that people are spending.
Yeah, and JJ Maxwell, you are right. Basically, any mutant right now can be brought back to life. So, yeah, Manny, shout out to Manny the comic collector. If you guys aren't following Manny on IG, make sure you guys are. Manny, you're right.
See, what's funny is, like, when I see stuff like this, I mean, most of the people are younger, and they didn't live through the death of Superman, and like, I mean, I did, and I mean, I was plenty old enough.
Did you cry, Ben?
Well, that's really no, I did not cry. Maybe. But I mean, like, you go back to that, and like back then, I mean, that was like a big deal, even though no person logically would have thought, oh yeah, they're just going to kill Superman. I mean, and he's dead forever. I mean, and now it's just, I mean, it's not even like nobody even cares. Although I wouldn't think anybody would care. But
yeah, I mean, I agree. Like when oh my God, when they killed Superman back in the day, I mean, it was like news everywhere. Like you couldn't get away from it.
Right.
Like it was like local news, national news. It's like, oh my God, Superman's dead. And then they just brought him back to life like a year later.
Right.
So I'm like, what was the point?
I'll say this. The X-Men's the whole X-Men Sword storyline, X of Sword storyline, I was so stoked for that. And while it was going on, I was so stoked for it. And the ending just fell really short to me, which really sucked, because I really want the mutants to be good again. I want great mutant stories. I want it to be nostalgia, but I don't want it to be cheesy. And it's just so hard to work with the mutants that not even, some of the greatest writers can fix them at this point. So it's very frustrating to see stuff like this, but hey, at least it's not DC.
Hey,
that's
man.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. Oh. Well, all right, you guys, we have one more giveaway tonight. 260 live viewers right now. We got 3 books to go, and we got another giveaway that we'll let you know how to win tonight, following the number 1 book. All right, top 3, away we go. Number 3 this week is Donny Cates, and the old school Thor number 6 second printing variant. Now, he did talk a little bit about seeing this dream or future version of the winter, what was it? What was it? The winter.
It was Black Winter, but
Black
like
Winter. Thank you.
Essentially, like End of Days.
Yeah. The End of Days from the Black Winter storyline, right? Where we saw this was a wraparound cover showing a future event where a lot of people were thinking, oh, it's Thanos again, where also people are talking about it being Thane, son of Thanos, because of that thing on his arm, which is very interesting. And of course, when the whole image is shown, you see him holding Mjolnir with the Infinity Stones in it. And somebody hit Cates up on Twitter sometime in the last couple of weeks, it sounds like, and said, hey, are we going to see anything about this? And he said, you bet your ass you're going to see this stuff coming up. And so that second print started selling. It started moving. And I remember when this run came out, people bought that second print by the fistful. Like those second prints were being sold at a crazy rate. And guess what, you guys? Now it's going to pay off. So thank Donny Cates and Drunken Chat Son and all those sharks out there. Hopefully you guys got some. Maybe you guys got some of these variants, which is the 1 in 50 variant, the sketch variant, whatever you want to call it. What are we seeing on the secondary market right now?
Yeah, so Raws were 40 to 50, and now they are 100 to 100 and a quarter. 9/8 multiple copies sold for $550 up to $750, which doesn't make sense with the 100 to 125 raw. So either the 100 to 125 raws are going to come up, or those 9/8 are going to back down some. So yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's just a Donny Cates hype train. I mean, he likes to hype his stuff up, and he did this with this particular book. I mean, to your guys' point, everybody bought that second print when it came out, that nice color wraparound cover, and it's all it is just a lead into another story. So is it that important to have? I mean, I love the incentive, the ratio variant that you have here, but again, there's no like real first appearance of anything. We've seen Marvel Zombies before. We've seen Thane. If it is Thane before, the only thing that it has going for it would be Mjolnir with the Infinity Stones and that potential Death Stone. But those are just weapons or tools. So I think this is more of just people jumping on the Cates hype train.
And again, we do see this Marvel Zombies in the background. We're getting some Marvel Zombies. They're pushing some Marvel Zombie stuff. We're seeing some of that with spec. But what I will say is, I believe that, like we talked about, that second print, people bought those by the dozens. I think like at Midtown or somebody had a sale at one point where they were super cheap. So, and at the time, Donny Cates basically told people, buy this book, right? Will Donny Cates come through in the end? That's the question. And how many times has he come through in the end before? I don't know. That's the question. He is a great hype man. When Black Winter was going on, everybody loved the storyline. I remember people saying, hey, this storyline is great. I felt like it died in a whimper. I feel like the Venom was going crazy. Everybody's talking about null this, null that. Where's Null now? So here comes the Hulk train. The Hulk train's coming, which the Donny Cates train is a roaring back. And do we think we're going to see this image or this future come out in the Hulk line, or is this just 2 years down the road type thing? That's the question. But if you got some copies, it's worth throwing up right now. Let's take a look and see what this is selling for.
I wouldn't think there's that many of them out there, right? I mean, a 1 in 50 for a second print. I mean, yeah, I know people have a bunch of the second prints, but still 1 in 50 is pretty
Yeah, I would agree with you, Ben. I wouldn't see too many out there. But there's probably a lot of that second print for sure, that color.
Yeah, there's a lot of the second print here. $100, buy it now. 9.8, $6.99, 700. So there's a lot of these copies out there. So just be careful. But it is. Don't get me wrong. It's a dope idea. I think it's a hype man at its best. That's for sure. Here is the regular cover. Sorry, I apologize to that seller. Let's see here. Let's do this. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. Anyways, there you guys can see the color selling for about $10 a pop.
Which, hey, if you got them for $1, it's pretty good. That's pretty good return on your investment there.
Yep. Well, very interesting. That is number 3 on the list this week. Let us know what you think in the chat, you guys. I can already tell what most of you guys think. It's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. This book is selling. Number 2 on the list this week is another no-brainer. Everybody's talking about Kang. The last episode of Loki, we saw those the timekeepers kind of fall by the wayside, which I think most of us knew we were going to see something like that happen. It was really cool. I thought it was great the way it played out. But do we, out of all of us on the list, throw your hands up for let me know if we think we're going to see Kang in this one. Oh,
come on, Ben, do it. It's not going to be Mephisto, Ben.
I don't know. I think the track record that I've seen so far just lends me to I just feel like they're using these shows. I mean, they're great shows. I've liked all 3 of them. I just haven't seen one major reveal of anything in any of them to this point. I'd be surprised.
Yeah. Well, I am banking on it. Not that I'm banking on it in a way where I have any Kang books. I don't. I'd be lucky if I found a Kang book in my pile of stuff to sell. But I think it's a no-brainer. It's too smart not to get him started in people's minds. With Ant-Man coming out, maybe we might not see Kang, but I think we're gonna get told that Kang is behind this. And I would love to have the payoff be that the whole Kang City is in the quantum realm, and that's where the TVA is. I know a lot of people have been talking about that lately. I see a lot of people in the chat, some people saying, look, Kang, no Kang. Yep, a lot of no Kangs. But this book is selling.
What about this? What did you... Okay, so we know that Kang is going to appear in Doctor Strange, right? But I think you brought up somebody in the chat.
Ant-Man.
Oh, Ant-Man. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you, Ant-Man. But somebody in the chat also mentioned Immortus. So what if Immortus is the driver for all of this, but Kang is the one that's saying we can't have this?
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
I like that. Because Kang's taking out all the different Kangs, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
I think it would lend precedence to what we're talking about. I mean, you could have both. Immortus could be in the Loki show and drive some other things, and then Kang can be like, "Hey, this has got to stop. This is nuts."
Yeah. Well, listen, I like to see Kang be a character in the MCU. I think it's a good character to get us to certain other stories that we want to see. I don't know. We only got 2 more episodes, right? 2 more episodes. It's going to be real. I have a feeling they're going to be both kick-ass episodes. Let's cross our fingers. Following this, what do we have coming up? Do we know what is next in the MCU train?
It is going to be the What If. So cartoon What If is going to be right after Loki. Or not after Loki, but it's going to be the next show.
Great. I'm all for it.
And is Moon Knight after that? Or I
don't even know if Moon Knight has really started. I think it might be Ms. Marvel, maybe, because I think Ms. Marvel wrapped, so it could be. I mean, we'd have to ask the Google to see what would be next.
Yeah, well, I'm all for What If. One of the few Watcher fans out there, you guys. So we'll see. I think that character they need to bring that character even more, make that character even more of a badass.
I can't believe you don't have your OA hanging behind you.
You wouldn't be able to see it, bro. It's like he drew them like this big.
What?
You never. Oh, I'm not. Oh, you're not.
I'm talking about
the,
I'm talking about your
my,
original sin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I need to get that behind me. You're right. That's a great point.
I can't believe you don't have that up.
I thought you were talking about my
Brian.
Arthur Sidem. Listen, if you guys don't know the story about Arthur Sidem and the Watcher sketch, find that on Tales from the Flip Side, or find me at a con one day and I'll tell you about it. Definitely don't ask for a Watcher sketch from Arthur Sidem, though. All right. Thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out. We've got a lot of fun coming up after immediately following the show over on Mighty Mel V's channel, Drunken Chat Son. Make sure you guys go check it out. Follow Team Nerd Herd on Instagram, as well as Comics and Pops on Instagram, and also make sure to go subscribe to their YouTube channel. They're doing great things over there. They got great content on a constant they're on a constant tick basically over there, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you guys go give them a shout and some love. They're doing great things over there.
Hey, can I make a prediction for next week? Because I've heard nothing but rave reviews about Yelena Belova in Black Widow, and those books have not really jumped. I've heard that she steals the show, and that comes out this week, and I have a feeling that Yelena Belova, and you try and find a variant of her. There are very, very few variants of hers. There's some second printings of Thunderbolts and Deadpool and stuff like that have her on the cover. There's a really cool one with her kicking Deadpool. That's pretty good. I can't remember what number it is or anything like that, but that's my prediction for next week.
Ben, I think you're going to be right. I think it's not just going to be for next week, but I think it's going to be like going forward. I mean, rumors are that she's also going to be appearing in Hawkeye. So you're going to get Yelena there. So I mean, it's the sky's the limit. She's going to be the next Black Widow. So I think you're absolutely right.
Well, we talk Young Avengers, right? I think that character is primed for that team. And I think it would be stupid for MCU to make that team without her. So we'll see what happens. We talked a little bit about that, all the Black Widow stuff last Monday on Tales from the Flip Side, the flagship show on Monday nights. Make sure you guys give us a sub. We're putting out a lot of content right now, and you're bound to find something over there you like. Of course, this Saturday, you guys, we've got Modern Comic Mayhem coming up. The guys over there have a great show, a lot of fun over there. We're going to be talking to an old school comic book shop owner. It's been in the industry a long time, Bill Poncetti. So make sure you guys check that out. If you guys have ever checked out More Fun Comics, the comic shop in New Orleans, you'll know who Bill is, and he'll be on the show Saturday night. We're going to talk a little bit of Golden or Silver Age fun, and also if you guys enjoy drinking, they do a fun little drinking game over there where Kyle comes up with new words every show. I never know the words. People who are on the show with them never know the words. It's a lot of fun over there. They're doing great things. They do a cool thing over there called Top 5, and I think we're going to try something new this week. We're going to do a live on the spot Top 5. So fans of Modern Comic Mayhem, go over there, check out the show, and during the show, we're going to ask you guys to give us some good top 5 suggestions. We're going to pick one that night and do some live top 5 thinking. So come up with some good top 5s, and we'll check it out. All right, Modern Comic Man, let's get into number 1 issue this week. White number 1. We've been talking about this book for ages, I feel like. Talked about on Drunken Chat Son for ages. I feel like this book has been FOC 1,000 times, but it finally came out, and we're seeing some big returns on the secondary market, it sounds like, huh?
Yeah, I've heard people say that they had ordered like 50 copies from Midtown and got their orders cut to 1. Everybody was being limited to 1. Because the print run on this is apparently what Black Mask is doing is 2,500 copies of the A cover on all issues of this. So one, two, three, four. I think it's a 5-issue mini, maybe four. All A covers are 2,500 print run, and so they were all cut. So yeah, this is basically selling for 75 to 100, right out of the gate. I've
Wow.
heard mixed reviews on the actual book itself.
Has anybody? I haven't read it. Have you read it yet, Alonzo?
I have not, but I've read Black, and Black is amazing.
Yes, I've heard multiple people talk about that the Black series for a while now. It's already been optioned, I believe, a while ago. But man, I felt like this was we heard about this White Book for so long that I felt like it was going to fall off, but obviously not. I mean, geez.
And this is also going to a second printing. So if you guys missed out, there is another chance to get it. So make sure you hit up your LCS and put in an order. Hopefully you can to get that second print.
Yeah. Well, I let's see here. Was released last minute on Boom's site and sold out quick. Huh.
But this isn't from Boom, is it?
Maybe the B cover.
I don't know. I mean, the Black #1 is still selling pretty well, right? I mean, it's still selling pretty decent.
Yeah.
Do you know how much it's selling for right now? I mean,
let me pull that up for you.
Black #1, I think
it's white prices.
No, I think it's still like a $30 book though, which is pretty good considering, because it is Black Mask, and you know they've dropped the ball like 1,000 times on so many levels, that I can't believe that any of their books sell, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I don't. It's hard for me to get really. Like if it was a Boom book, which it's not, I'm pretty sure it's a Black Mask book. But if it was a Boom book, I could get behind that. But Black Mask stuff, I loved several of their stories, and they just dropped the ball on them.
This is the problem with eBay now. Look at this. You type in Black Mask comic, Black Mask #1 comics, and you get this.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that too. It's like you have to keep refining your search. It's nuts.
Yeah, this is horrible. Like,
yep, you'll get anything that says Black on the subject line.
Bro, hey, when I try, I'm telling you, it's a nightmare sometimes when I'm trying to find what's going on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrible to try and go through.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about that.
It's a credit to you, Ben, and the amount of work you put into getting like this hot 10 list, and banging all this stuff out at 11 o'clock at night while everybody's asleep, man. Seriously, it's good stuff.
I appreciate it, Alonzo. I really do.
Well, another thing that Ben didn't know about the second giveaway of the night, you guys, has to do with this book. So that's why I'm bringing it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa, can I get in on that?
Of course you can, because in order to win this one, you guys, after the show, you're going to leave a comment under the video. And next week, we're going to pick a random commenter. So what should we have them comment this week? Anything interesting you guys got? Let's see here. How about this? I want you guys to tell me your favorite moment on any Team Nerd Herd show.
Oh,
so
there you go.
You guys, I need you guys
need
you guys to be subscribers of Tales from the Flipside and also Team Nerd Herd, and tell me your favorite Team Nerd Herd moment that is on the comments immediately following live show, and we'll pick a random commenter next week to give away a special copy of this book. So let me do this here. So shout out to the to friend of the show, Jesse James Comics. This is an exclusive that he basically sold out most of them. We were lucky enough. He hit me up and said, hey, give away a book tonight on any show, on the show, or any show you guys want. So you guys will be able to get this white #1, the Jesse James Comics exclusive that you see right here. Here is the back of the book.
What's the print run on that?
Let's see here. 250, I believe Jesse said.
That's it.
Let's make sure though here. Let me make
Wow.
sure. Jesse might be in the chat. If Jesse's in the chat,
That's
I see him. Yeah, here he says, "Great book, did very well with it." Jesse, let us know the print run if you're there, but I believe it's around 250.
That's great. That's a wonderful giveaway. Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah.
For sure. My goodness.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesse James Comics on that. So again, you guys, if you want to win this book, we will give it away next week based on a random comment on the YouTube video below. Once we're done being live, let us know your favorite Team Nerd Herd show moment. And be a subscriber of Tales from the Flipside YouTube channel and Team Nerd Herd YouTube channel. And you'll have a chance to win this book, White Number One.
Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate that.
Well, no, thank you, Jesse James. And thank you, everybody here joining us on the show. 222 live viewers all the way till the end. Alonzo, thank you so much for hanging out with us, brother. We're looking forward to your guys' continued content creation. The most important thing about what we're doing here is this community. A lot of great content creators in the comics YouTube sphere. There we go, Jesse James. Thank you, sir. 250 copies on that issue. So again, thank you for everyone for hanging out. Make sure you guys go to comicbookinvest.com, the Wizard of Now, probably one of the best sites when it comes to amazing articles about amazing books, comic books, news, and speculation at its finest. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we will see you guys next time.